In the midst of an amazing career encompassing many facets, each of which might be considered a career in and of itself, musician, record company owner, producer, and investment banker, Alison Brown continues to tread a musical path which simultaneously respects tradition while deliciously defying convention. An ever-adventurous musical spirit, by stripping away any stereotypes of what a banjo can and cannot do, Alison Brown has quite simply put created a new voice for the five-string banjo. Born in Hartford, Connecticut, Brown was raised near San Diego and began playing the banjo at the age of 10. Inspired by banjo masters, most notably Earl Scruggs, at 14 she began her professional performing career at the Six Flags theme park near Los Angeles. After winning the Canadian National Banjo Championship in 1978, Brown was invited to appear on the Grand Ole Opry, a career in music being a foregone conclusion. However, respectful to her parents' wishes, Alison instead attended Harvard University, ultimately earning an MBA degree. During an abbreviated career as an investment banker, Brown often hid a copy of Bluegrass Unlimited magazine inside the pages of the Wall Street Journal while dreaming of the banjo and what it would be like to devote all of her passion and energy to music. While it is a story not often told, this particular investment banker left it all behind, trading late nights in the office for all-night drives in a second-hand van, all to follow her dream of becoming a professional banjo player. In 1987, Brown was asked to join Union Station. She spent the next 3 years performing in world-class venues with Alison Krauss prior to releasing her first solo project, Simple Pleasures, in 1991. Being named the International Bluegrass Music Association's Banjo Player of the Year gave Alison license to spread her artistic wings, gravitating for the first time towards her own hybrid blend of roots music, which incorporated bluegrass, jazz, Celtic, folk, and world music. Not so surprisingly, Alison's new musical vocabulary enamored people who didn't know how much they liked the banjo, while giving banjo fans a new reason to love the instrument. In true Wall Street fashion, Alison and her future husband and fellow musician Gary West outlined their plan for the good life on the back of a napkin. Taking turns with a pen, words such as touring band, record label, publishing, artist management, and home appeared, ultimately providing the couple with a roadmap for their future. In 1995, Alison and Gary founded Compass Records in Nashville, growing their business into a major force in the world of acoustic music. Juggling family, business, and ongoing musical growth, Alison Brown had found that elusive formula for turning her love of music into a life. A career milestone occurred with Alison's 2018 release of The Song of the Banjo. Melding her unique banjo style with an eclectic all-star cast and decidedly non-banjo repertoire, The Song of the Banjo gleefully captures the spirit of the Rudyard Kipling poem for which it was named, while allowing Alison to gravitate towards the lyrical side of the banjo which she loves. Having long considered the banjo as her musical voice, in The Song of the Banjo, with her artistic attention to the subtle nuance of every note and phrase, Alison truly sings. Thousands of three-finger style banjo players have made their mark since Earl Scruggs, but none has cut a path or moved the instrument so far along as Alison Brown. From banjo picker to banker and back again, Alison continues to embrace the essence of music and the banjo's unlimited potential. It's amazing to me how much the banjo changed in the 20th century, she says, and here we are at the dawn of the 21st. Who knows where it may go from here?
Please welcome Alison Brown. What a delightful performance.
I'm going to sit so that I'm on the same level as this amazing musician over here to my right. He says, don't stoop that low. He's originally from New Orleans, lives in Nashville, Tennessee these days, one of the finest musicians I've ever had a chance to play with. That's Chris Walters, y'all. Chris is, of course, a bona fide banjo lover, and in fact, just the other day said to me, you know, Alison, the banjo is a divine instrument. Man plays it, but only God knows why. But the actual truth is there's nothing that Chris likes better than the sound of a banjo, unless...
that's true.
Unless, of course, it's a chicken trapped inside a vacuum cleaner. Do banjo jokes have a tradition in the 4-string banjo community, or is it just the 5-string? Okay, we can throw down on some banjo jokes. We're going to play a couple of tunes for you. The first will need no introduction, and the second is a tune that I wrote for this banjo, which was built for me by a great banjo builder in the great state of Prague in the Czech Republic. His name is Jaroslav Pruka, and this is called a spirit banjo, which he designed for me. He said he wanted to build me an instrument, and you know, there's a great tradition of luthiers, but also great machine work in the Czech Republic. And there's also a lot of great banjo players in the Czech Republic, because you may not know this, I didn't know this until I went there, but when the Soviets invaded the Czech Republic in the 60s, and the Czech people couldn't leave the country, they found that bluegrass music and playing banjo especially was a great way to thumb their nose at the government. So there got to be a lot of great banjo players, and Jaroslav Pruka is one of these guys, completely dedicated to playing the banjo. Carved his own picks out of a metal can, got a copy of the Earl Scruggs book on the black market that he snuck in from Germany. Anyway, he built this instrument for me, and he asked me what features I would like to have, and I said that I would like to have an extra 2 frets at the top of the fingerboard so that you could have, 2 octaves of a D. And he looked at me kind of askance, because I don't think he believed that there would really be a purpose for any more frets on the rusty end of the banjo neck. But he did it nonetheless, and so then I had to write a tune to prove that I really did have something in mind when I asked for it. So the tune I wrote is called The Musette for the Last Fret. Well, it's an incredible honor, truly, to be a member of the Hall of Fame, and I would like to say thank you to everybody who found me worthy of this great honor. It's an amazing thing. You know, I fell in love with the banjo when I first heard Earl Scruggs play. I was about 10 years old, and my parents' guitar teacher, who was also a banjo player, brought over a copy of the Foggy Mountain Banjo album, and my dad made a cassette tape of it for me, dating myself, and he labeled it hillbilly music. And there was something about the sound of the instrument that I just couldn't let go of, and it really is my first musical love, and such a special instrument, and it's kind of been my spirit animal really since I was 10 years old. And you know, my parents really, as you saw, you know, they're both attorneys, and they really encouraged me to think of the banjo as an excellent avocation to have as a future doctor they were hoping for. I could talk about playing the banjo at cocktail parties, and maybe it would make good conversation. But you know, spending those years on Wall Street and refunding tax-exempt bond issues, I just really came to feel that I loved the banjo way more than tax-exempt debt. So I made the bold leap, and it's not one that I've regretted, and in many ways this instrument has helped me find my path and my purpose. And you know, Jonathan Livingston Seagull is reported to have once famously said that members of the same family aren't always born under the same roof. And I definitely feel that being here with you guys tonight, being with my 4-string and 5-string banjo sisters and brothers. Thank you so much for this honor.